Hey y'all, it's Melissa from MessyMissy Creates. Okay, I'm gonna make the long-awaited Christmas journal. So you all, a lot of you voted for the teal book. Several of you said green, and the various fabrics to go with it. But I think I was leaning towards this book, this teal blue book, because of the colors in my papers. I did add some greens. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit them in, but I'm going to try some reds and greens. But then I remembered when my niece and I were cleaning out my book closet, I pulled out everything. I told her to hand me everything that says Christmas, that has to do with Christmas. And guess what, y'all? I found what I think is the perfect book to go with this. Look, you ready? Look at this. It's called The Joys of Christmas. It's a old little golden book. Well, I say old. It's from 1976, I believe. And it's Christmas customs and legends around the world. Look at the Holland shoe and look at the Nutcracker. And I'm not sure what that is. It's a doll of some sort. And then the gingerbread man. And then it does have a very thin spine, so we're going to have to adjust that a little bit. But look at the back. Look at the stocking. It's kind of a pinkish purple. It's got a nest, aren't those nesting dolls? And then the upside down clown and whatever that is. I don't know what that is. And it's got a little train. And look at the end pages, the inside cover. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's got enough green in it, but it's got all the other colors. It's got these beautiful candles. This page would be a good cover page. It has lots of illustrations in it. I could actually use some of the pages out of this book to fill the gaps where I need to. Christmas wrapping, Christmas letters, cards, and stamps. I wish that I knew what day I was going to do all this on. Each of those things. Now, I don't know what that is. The first manger scene was set up in Italy. Okay. By the patron saint of animals. It was life-size. Anyway, it goes into the history of all the customs. The Yule log, bringing Christmas home. Christmas pageants. Bright lights and ornaments. Oh, Christmas tree. You know, and shoes to be filled with gifts. So I guess they filled the shoes and not the stockings. I did not know that. Here's some Christmas stockings. Yeah, y'all can see the whole book. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to take too long to do this. I'm going to go. I really like this. It says bright days after Christmas. The joys of Christmas don't end with Christmas Day, nor does the marvelous old cupboard filled with Christmas customs and legends close its door with a magic click. On Three Kings Day, January 6th, children in Spain, okay, will find their shoes filled with sweets. I didn't know that. I think January 6th here for some of us is Epiphany, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, this one says, waiting for Christmas Day itself. I would love for this one to fall on Christmas Eve, but then I'm not going to want to cover it up. So these pages might have to just be extras. I don't know. I would love to keep the story intact. I know that's very hard to do because they're not, like, this is not in the same signature as this. So I'm trying to find the middle at this point because we are about to take this book apart. This is one I have been hoarding for a while. I think I thought I was going to make a junk journal out of it, and I really hate. These books are hard. Some of these books are really hard to find, and they're getting even harder to find here because we have fewer thrift stores that sell books. But it's not like I'm giving it away. I keep thinking one day I'm going to make junk journals and sell them, or that maybe this would have made a better junk journal. And like my other book that I want to do that with. If you haven't ever done this, a book that is just sewn in, you just go through, you don't have to cut out the book block. you just pop the stitches. And I think this is just a one signature book. And so this should be all we have to do. Now, sometimes the end pages, like the front cover and the back cover, sometimes they are, and I forget what they're called. They have a name. I'm trying not to tear the paper. I'm using my duller of the two knives that I have, just so I can get under those stitches and pop them. And I may have to do this video in segments. It just depends, because the only issue with this book is the size. It is, maybe I didn't cut all the threads. Okay. It is like 9 inches tall, but I missed one right in here because it popped the, I don't want it to put a hole in, here we go. I don't want it to put a hole in the spine. You know what I'm saying? So when I pulled it out, it should have just pulled easily. This book is 9 inches tall. The pages are 9 inches tall, right at 9 inches, which is perfect because I can cut the 3-inch strip off of my 12 by 12s and that'll work perfectly. The issue comes with the width. It's also 9 inches wide. The book itself is 9 and almost 9.5. But my pages, I think I can make them 9 inches wide, which means we're going to have to do what? We're going to have to do Franken pages, which is fun. It just takes a little more time. Let me see. Did I miss another one here? Yep, just a little one. Okay, see how easy that came out once you get all the strings out? Hold on. I want to keep them in order just for now. Okay. And so there are, I did not count the pages. Looks like 18 or 19 if they didn't count the front cover, because they have them numbered. So I should be able to pull plenty out of that. Now I will use this as my front cover, like my signature cover. And that will be, so that will be one of our pages. You don't journal on, well, you do journal on the inside, but you don't journal on the outside, right? So that'll match, and that'll be perfect. So there's our first page right there. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out, so I'm going to cut all of these down to 9 inches in height, and I may try to edit this and speed this up for you. But we'll still chit chat while we're doing it. And I don't know if I have enough pages printed out. I printed out a few more last night. See, here's one where I did the red on one side, so, or the red and green, the more traditional colors. And I don't know how well that's going to play with these colors. But I printed a few more pages last night. Let me see if I can scoot that box back any more, because it hits my, that little handle hits my little thingy here. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That thingy hits that thingy. So I'm cutting it down to 9 inches tall. And I'm going to be left with some glorious strips. I guess I could have made the decision to do that one from the bottom, but we already had the red, so this left us with red and green. So if I go ahead and fold it, no, I don't want to fold it, because what I'm probably going to do, let me cut down one more and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, let me find one that matches that one so I don't have to have a aneurysm right off the bat. Because this is going to be, I have a feeling those two different, they're two very different kits, digital kits. And I still forgot to look up the shop names, but I will try to look them up and link them in the description. There's already so much in the description right now. Look at the lights on the back, and that's just going to be such a fun scrap paper for December. So I think I cut that one off the bottom. Yeah, because this is this is the way the ornaments are hanging. So it didn't really matter. Okay. So let me show you what I want to do. I needed 2 pages to be able to show you this. I'm going to show one. Oh, Lordy, that didn't work. Okay, I might have to get another page. Well, these pages are not... Yeah, they are. They're going to be together. So let me find a different page. Hold on. Let me... Yeah, this one's going to be hard. And I may have to just take out... I'm going to set aside like this traditional red and green. But see, I did do the blue one from the blue kit on here. Or the retro kit. So that I could mix and match some. This is from the retro kit. And it's got red and green in it. This is my Santa. I want him for Christmas Eve. I mean, Christmas Day. This one I was thinking for Christmas Eve. Here's the traditional kit. It still said vintage or retro, but it was more traditional. Let me put this back in my pile. I put that one in the wrong pile. Okay, so this one is a traditional page. This one is a traditional page. That one has Santa on the back. Here is, now we're getting to these. So let me see if I can cut this one and make it work with this page. The reason why I'm having to get so specific is because they're going to actually be touching each other. Now, I have another option that I might use. Okay, that wouldn't look horrible together. So let's do this one. And let's make one page. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to do some of this without you because this is going to be a tedious process. It doesn't matter. Direction does matter because this has a top and a bottom. And it doesn't really matter if I take it off the top of the bottom. So I'm just going for the top. For simplicity's sake. So I'm cutting this one down to 9. And I'm going to need... When you fold a 12 by 12, obviously you get a 6 by 6 page, right? So I'm lacking 3 inches on both sides. So instead of, I could attach 3 inches on each side of my page, but instead of doing that, I think I'm going to put them together. No, I'm going to cut... I think I need 6 more inches is what I'm trying to say. So this would go like this. And that would go with that side. I think I can live with that. What do you think? So if I cut this one down to 6 inches, like cut it in half, that gives me 18 total inches because 12 inches here and 6 inches here. And then that would give me a 9-inch page folded, right? And let me measure these pages again and make sure that that's what we want. Yes, we want, this one is a hair over 9, so 9 inches will be perfect. So that is ideal. Now that I'm using, I had to print extra because I'm having to print some to cut in half. I didn't think I was going to have to do that. But the blue book, I was afraid was going to be too short, width-wise. And I don't like to be crowded on my outside. I like to add things, and I don't want my pages to stick over the end. Oh, I put the cutter away somewhere. I hid it from myself. How do you do that? Oh, I was like, how in the world do you hide something like that from yourself? Okay, so this one I'm going to cut down to 6 inches. And we're going to franken this on. This will give us 2 pages to franken on to 2 pages. Does that make sense? So it gives us a 6 and a 6. Phew-wee. So this is going to be a little bit of a tedious process, but it also can be fun. So what I would do is I would tape it here. Why is that not the exact same height as that one? Okay, well, it's a little off, but that's okay because I'm a little off. I do not have raggy. I do not have my Christmas washi out yet. So let me do clear tape. I don't know that I'm going to have Christmas washi to... I should have thought about that though. I may not want washi on it. I don't know. I don't know if I want just clear tape either. That one was crooked. But there we go. And then I'll do the other side as well. I'm going to flip it upside down, but remind me that it's upside down. Because from this side, I can't really tell. Obviously, the clear tape keeps you from writing on it, but these are not backgrounds that I would write on anyway. More than likely. So, okay, so I should have a total of 18 inches, and I do not have a measurement tool for that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it in half. I could get out my scoreboard and score it at 9 inches, but I'm just not going to. I'm just going to even it up, and I'm going to score it like this, and we should have 9 inches. Perfect. Now, does everybody know how I got to 9 inches, right? We had a 12 by 12 piece of paper. We added a 6-inch piece of paper that kind of coordinates, not exactly, but it does. And then now we have 18 inches wide, which is what the book pages are. Okay. So, for example, if I use this as my first page, this is how it would look. This would be page number 1. This would be page number 2, day number 2. Okay, and then this would be the end of, the end of the journal. And I can live with that. Now, obviously, I can mix them around and play with it and alternate book pages and things like that. But for right now, we have 2 pages ready. So, I don't know. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do real quick so it can dry. Let me get these out of the way. I wet the tip of a magic eraser because I noticed this had like a little sticker residue or whatever, and it had some other just stuff on it. So if you haven't ever, now this has a real shiny cover. Now like the blue one didn't. I couldn't have done this with that one. It would have just gotten wet and bleh. But this one has a shiny cover, and so I can clean it and get off some of these little spots anyway. Not all of them, but hey, it's character, right? Okay, I want to set that to the side to dry. I do have a paper towel. Let's see. I can dry it off because I got water on my table too. Hold on, having stool issues. But I want to let it... I don't want anything to be wet because I don't want it to wet my paper. Okay, so we're going to set that off. Oh, now let me show you what, because this has such a thin spine. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to, if you open up the book where there's like a little gusset or a gully or whatever you want to call it, if you flatten that out, you can extend, this was about a 1/4 inch spine. I can extend it to a, you have to kind of train it and be the boss and tell it what to do. But you can make it to, this will be a 3/4 inch or a little over 3/4, almost a 1 inch spine, just by doing that. Okay. Which also shrinks your pages widthwise. So let's make sure that our pages are still going to fit in there. They're going to be close, but they're going to fit. Okay. So they're going to be right up to the edge. So really I could make them a hair shorter, but I'm not going to round, I'm just going to round it. I'm not going to completely make it flat. I just want it to be, that way it can expand when it gets full. So there we go. Okay, so that was that I was going to show you. And then let's go back to see if we can put more papers together. and me not have a meltdown in the process. So I printed off some extras. Let's see, this one I already cut. So let's see if we can find a match for this. This one, that might be too similar. This one would work. Let's see what the back of it looks like. That works. Okay, perfect. So let me cut this one down to 9 inches. These little things don't want to stay clipped in there anymore. Okay, make sure I got the top. I made sure that I printed them when I printed the back side. I made sure that I got them. I'm going to try to make sure I get them right on the 9-inch line, because I don't want the page that glues to, or that I tape to it, to be off by any. So, let's see, which one am I going to cut in half? This one, I think, or this one. It's going like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? I think I'll keep this one and cut this one in half. It doesn't matter. Actually it might. This one has a little bit more of a yellowed background, and more of the pages have a white background. So I'm going to cut this one in half. I know I just did a switcheroony on you, but okay. This one may go with more pages is what I'm trying to say. So let's do this. And I'm just using clear tape again, because I haven't gotten up to get my, let's see, which way did I have? This is up. No, it's not. You can tell by the ornament toppers. And see there? I don't want that one because that's big ornaments together. So I want it this way. And that would be big ornament, little ornament. So that will work. I've got this one facing up. I've got this one facing up. Let's do it. Let's put them together. Now, I'm not leaving any gap in here because I don't want it to bend. Now, honestly, you do have the option, and I may do it with a couple of them. You have the option of not cutting this in half and actually folding it and then having like 3-inch foldovers, which I will do that on the next one. That way you have flips and flaps and stuff like that, tucks and whatever. So we'll do it both ways. That's going to take more paper to do it that way, but I'm hoping I don't run out of tape. But like I said, I may have to stop and start this video a couple times. I've got things cooking. This is the day before Thanksgiving here in my world when I'm doing this. And hopefully you will be seeing this on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. And I hope yours is happy. We have my family coming over. I am feeling a little bit better today, thank goodness. As I begin to prep all my stuff, right? I still can't bend over. Or I keep, if I bend over, I keep going until I hit the ground or another hard surface, like a dresser or a end table or whatever. So we have a whopping 3 pages, but I can also take a book page. The other thing that I can do, I did not, and I thought about it, and I might still go in the kitchen now and dye some red paper. But I really don't want to have to do that. If I can make one of these pages work, one of these dyed pages, I need to cut it down to 9 inches. But it's not going to be as long. It's going to be a little bit shorter. But it would work. See? Now, I only have one teal, unfortunately. So here would be page 1. I don't know if I want that on the first page. So I may put that one later in the book. Let's see. Let's exchange this one for this one. I mean, I could also fold it this way and have this at the end of the month. I don't think I want it at the end of the month. I think I want it more in the mid-month when I'm wrapping presents. But for these purposes, we're just doing it this way. So there's a printed page, there's a dyed page. And that doesn't match that page. So we are gonna do this. And then that is gonna be at the end of the, but what would that be? That would be the 31st. That would be the 30th, the 29th, the 28th. I don't plan on opening any presents on the 28th. We'll adjust as we go. Let me see if I can find another book page to put in there. I'm not sure if I want the dyed papers or not. I like it though. I mean, this one matches. Oh, I've got a girl out there cackling. Oh my goodness, she must be laying a serious egg. They've been laying some big ones. They're not laying a lot, but they're laying some big ones. You know, I could use that. I could use this gold right here or the orange. If I keep these two together, I could actually make the orange work. Because look at the, it's got a little bit of orange in it. I would have never, if you would have told me that I was going to use orange in my Christmas journal, I would have told you you were silly. But, and here we go. Well, alrighty, we did it. So that looks pretty decent. I'm not real fond of that, so I might find something that goes better there. But anyway, we're just putting them together at this point. I also could use another page out of the book, and then I will get strategic and try to place them where I want them a little later. So let's try to put together one more page. Here's some Santas and some more ornaments. What I'd like to do is see if I can incorporate a green so that I can fit that in here. When I say a green, a more traditional page, so that I can fit that in there. Not the blue Santas. Not that one. Let me see if I can do... These are going to get all discombobulated anyway, because when I move them around, I'm just trying to make sure that the fronts and the backs... Because when I printed these, I was not planning on doing this, right? This was not my plan. That one, I may not take 3 inches off the top. I may take that much and then this much off, because I don't want to cut the whole Santa out. This one matches this. Oh, this is the one we're going to do the flip on. So, any of these would match. This one has more pink on the back. I kind of like that. Oh, I have this present too. I could do that if I wanted to. Or put those two together. I like those two together. Phew, mercy. This is going to be rough stuff, y'all. All right, let me cut them down to size. That I know we have to do. And I can't get over... I don't know if y'all can hear the girls or not. I think it's just one of them. Where do I keep putting my trimmer? How do you lose something that big? Oh, because I put paper on top of it. Okay. I'm like, how do you lose something that big? It's not okay. This is directional, so let's pay attention. So this one is not really. So I don't, let me try cutting it off the bottom. Let me see if I can cut this whole present off the bottom where 9 inches would fall. And it falls right here. So that would cut almost that whole present off, which would work. Because then I could still use that piece. Well, I could use it as the poinsettia too, and the holly berries. So, okay, this one I'm not cutting. We're going to, oh, I gotta cut down Santa too. I forgot. Let me see where this puts us. 9 inches just takes off the tip of his hat. If I cut it to here, that's like 9.5 inches. I don't want to cut Santa's head off. Except this I won't be able to use this as a pocket. What is it doing to the tree on the back? Wait a minute. I forgot I had trees. Okay, I think that'll work. So let me cut it right to the top of his hat. I'm going to do more than a 2 inch. That's sitting at 2 inches. That's sitting at 9.5. And I still think it's going to cut the tip of his hat off, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, it missed it. Yay. So this is just like a 2.5 inch strip. So it's not going to be good for a whole lot, but we could collage with it or something like that. So now I'm going to take it and take some off the bottom. I think I only have to take like a 1/2 inch off. Yep. I kind of knew when I printed this one that was probably going to be the case, but I wanted one whole intact Santa. And that's not necessarily, okay, I set my cutter down, my trimmer down beside me on the floor. So when I go to look for it again, remind me that I did that. This one, now these aren't going to be touching. They're going to be different signatures, so I'm not as worried about these matching. So I might could have done different, I didn't have to do papers that matched, right? So that's not going to be that big of a deal, except to the papers on the other side of it. So we're taping here. And then we're going to fold in, I think, 3 inches on this side and 3 inches on this side. So after I tape, usually I use masking tape for this. And I tape the whole thing. But I don't always like the look of the masking tape in my journal. So some of these I may come back and add some more like washi or something like that, but because I'm not doing a whole strip of clear tape because I see my roll getting lower, I'm just getting them where I can put them together right now where they'll stay. Oh, please tell me that was upside, okay, right side up is what I meant, not upside down. I didn't want it to be upside down. Mercy, so what are y'all plans for Thanksgiving? That was kind of a heavy accent. I started to say, what are y'all's plans and what is your plan? That was a combination of both of those. So I may have to get the scoreboard out anyway, because I don't think that I can fold. Right now I have 24 inches and I want 18. 24 minus 18 should be 6. So I want 3 on both sides. So I'm not cutting it, I'm just scoring it. Like that. And you can fold, look what I did in my one whole Santa. After all that work, that's what I did. Okay. Oh, well. It's all right. We know he's there. Intact. And 3. Okay, so that should give us... I'm putting that right there also. Next to the trimmer. So that should give us a flip and a flip. And then... we fold it. I'm listening. I'm still here. I'm just listening. Because I want to make sure something's not out there messing with them. They don't squawk like that all the time. They do squawk. Okay, let's see how this is going to look with what we have so far. Let's see. That's doable. We could fold it this way. The paper doesn't like being folded that way. Is that any better? Not real. Maybe a little bit, not really. And then this isn't the page that has to go here. I'm just putting it here for right now. So we can arrange later. And I could put book page in between there too if I need to. As a matter of fact, let's find one. Just so that we're adding in. Okay, we'll add in the counting down the days till Christmas. I know you can't see it. Hold on. Okay. Oh, waiting for Christmas Eve. Christmas markets. Okay, so I do want this one on, not the beginning, but, well, I'm not counting right now, so we're just going to put it in there. Let's put it in between here. That way it separates the, you see what I'm saying? It separates out the, so the pages don't have to match perfectly. Okay, I still need to cut down that orange one if I'm going to use it. What are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we need 16. So I think I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to cut down the rest of the pages without you, unless you want to be here, and then I can do a part 2. That's up to you if you are having fun watching this. What I should have done was a live, but I need to go. I really wasn't in a position to do a live because I've got stuff in the oven, the dishwasher going, I've got platters drying everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, what do I have on the back of this? These. That goes very well together. So let's put this one together. So how am I going to cut? I may cut this off the bottom. The other side doesn't matter. Yeah, somebody's not happy. Okay, I love this paper, y'all. And I love that paper too. So, I also have a couple of 6-inch pieces. See, look, that looks really good together. Let's see, what does that look? But they don't have to if I'm going to fold them. Okay, but if I were to cut this one in half and make this one, make it where they don't have a flip, then I would cut this one in half. And I think I'm going to do that one because this one is going to be one that would be easy to match. See, we still have these two over here that we can use. And I can always, I've got all those pockets, so I don't have to have that many flips, if that makes sense. So I'm going to cut this one in half and then tape that on. And then I am going to pause and I'm going to look to see if I can find my Christmas washi. And I'm just going to put that one to the side right now. And then I will piece this video together so that it's not 3 hours long. That, or do I want it, does it matter? It may matter. Let me think how it would matter. Because when I fold it, it's going to be, this is going to be the inside of a page or the back side of a page. So I think if I remember correctly, Carrie told me that I think Christmas Day has to be on the 8th page. And I think it's the inside right. I think that's what, if I remember correctly. we were talking about it and she had already figured it out and I have not done the math. So, and I don't have a calendar sitting right here in front of me either, but she said that, oh, I know how she said she'd, well, I'm giving her secrets away. Let her tell you how she figured it out easily. But for now, I'm going to put this right here. I have a second one of these pages. So if I mess it up the first time, I get a second chance at it. And then tape it on the back. Ooh, I didn't do a very good job of... Okay, well, I don't want it to fold, so... Okay, now I want it to fold here. No, I want it to fold like this, I think. Methinks. I think it is. Okay, and then burnish. Okay, so let's... Oh, I love that so much, and I love this one, and I love that they match so well. Okay, so we have 7 pages now. So if this one has to be the 8th page, we're almost there. So I'll need to put another book page in between here, like that, or a dyed page. No, I don't have a red or green. I have a light green dyed page. How would that look? I don't know if I can dye paper today, y'all. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I've got lots of cooking to do. But I was going to try to dye some red ones yesterday, and I just didn't have time. That doesn't look too bad. And I have plenty of book pages to use, too. So, if we put this one tentatively here, and that one, and then this one would be the 8th. So, let's test the math. So this would be there's 31 days in December, I think. So 31st. This one would be the 30th. This one would be the 29th. This one would be the 28th, which I don't want it to be the 28th. This one would be the 27th. This one would be the 26th. That one would be the 25th. That is not... Okay, so it needs to be the way I didn't fold it. I mean, I could have this one. I want this one. Although we do, I'll just pull this out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's not, I'll do that without you. I already said that, and then I keep going back to it. But I just want, we've got 7 pages. So I'm going to pause for now and cut some more. Let's see, I don't think I've cut that one yet. And I do have some carolers that aren't going to match anything. I do have the option of just folding, like cutting the height off and then folding it and making a shorter page, and that would be a 6-inch page. I do have the option of doing that. I don't have to piece them together, but I have the stuff to do it, so why not? Right? Nope. Let's try this one. Nope. Nope. That one matches, but I don't like that with that one too much. Let's see. That is that page. What does this one look like? That's not horrible. We've already used this one. What is this one? That one would, hold on. Let me move this. This one would match this one. Now, would that match that? Kind of. It's not horrible. It has the same kind of aesthetic. I just need to cut the top. And I keep saying I'm going to let you go, and then I keep working. So, I'll just edit the video where I see fit, I guess. Feel like I should go check on my poor chickens because they're still squawking. So, I worried about them. So is this one going to be one that I don't think I'm going to do a lot of those that are flips, although it would make it easier. It makes, when we glued or when we taped two whole ones together, it did make it easier because you didn't have two pages side by side. You weren't mixing in a third of a second pattern, because these are very busy patterns. But I still like it. I'm going to do it. I like the look of the Franken paper. These are just going to be very hard to put in the book together. Right? That one may have been upside down. That one didn't matter. Yeah, this one might be upside down, but we're going to pretend that we don't see it. It's just that little thing, I think, I don't know. We're not going to look at it. Just don't look. And then we'll do this one maybe this way. How does that look? And I could make this a 2-part video too. I mean, at the rate I'm going, I can make it a 3-part. So that's 8 pages. We're halfway there and we're 40 minutes in. So 8 pages. I can throw another book page in there. More Christmas visitors. I don't expect any Christmas visitors this year. Let's see what we can do with this paper. And if we can match it to one that we already have. That's not horrible. That's not horrible. Nope, it goes like this. I guess I could cut this one down first. That actually is not that bad. Although it does have a whiter background. That's not bad. Let's see what the other side looks like. I've already used this one once or twice. I like this one here. But why didn't I like the other side? Well, it's just going to have to do. Okay. It's just going to have to do. So, yes, that's directional. Does it matter? Yes. Should I pull it from the bottom? I don't know, maybe. Let's see where it falls with the Santas. That looks good. It falls right there. Right at 9 inches. Okay. So we got our, I'm putting our little 3-inch strips together. So we've got that one. I've lost track of how many pages I said I had. But we decided that went there. And I think this is right side up. Let's see, the ornament toppers are at the top. Yes. And the lights don't really matter. So these are going to be plain pages. And then what we'll do is I may do one more that has 2 pages glued together. And has flips on the sides. I need to count how many more printed papers that I have. Because I printed all these. And I printed like 4 extra last night. Knowing that I was going to have to use some as the extra 6 inches. So, I had 12 printed. So that would have given me 16, except I had to cut some of them up. You know what I mean? So this one will fold here. You know, we always change it later, right? And go the other direction. And I'm just stacking them at this point. I'm not even looking at them. And that should be 9. I think. We were at 6 or 7 and we added 3 more. So we're at 9 or 10. I want to be careful with this one because I don't want to put it in the wrong spot again. I know what I can do though. No, that's still, let's see, I have 3 more of these that are, yes, seasonal. Okay, seasonal. Traditional. And see, like, those look good together. That one doesn't look good together. So I can take and cut down the height and make those like flip pages. And let's put these, we already decided that those look good together, I think. No, we did not either. That doesn't look bad. That looks good. Okay, we did decide those look good together. So this one, I'm just going to cut down, and I'm not doing 2 at a time. Apparently, I'm going to keep you the whole time. What do you, tell me about your turkey. Tell me about your Thanksgiving traditions. What do y'all cook? I am from the South, but I did not grow up with cornbread dressing. Or cornbread stuffing? Cornbread dressing, sorry. And so that baffles people sometimes. But my mom was from up north, and we have white bread stuffing. And when my husband and I first, you know, when he first came to one of our first Thanksgivings, he's like, where's cornbread dressing? I'm like, we don't do cornbread dressing. Now, I love cornbread, don't get me wrong, but I do not like cornbread dressing. I grew up on stuffing, and we actually take the patties, we take the wet stuffing. You know, you saute the celery and onions and the garlic powder, and, you know, you season it really well. And then you pat them up like hamburgers, and then we fry them. And it's like fried bread. I mean, it is fried bread. It's not like fried bread. It's fried bread. So, there's, yeah, it's, let's see. Where do we want this? I'm going to put these together just because they look better together. Wait a minute. I want Santa to end up on this side because our other one, where did he end up? I think he ended up on the, let me find him. He ended up on this side, so I need him on this side this time, I think. So let's do it this way. And these two don't have to match because we're doing whole pages. And we're going to score and fold them in. Which will be fine because there's no way that's going to be... There's no way that's going to be on the back side. That's going to be on the front. I can't be right. I need it here. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I can always print another one. Let's do it here. So, but yeah, I did not know until my first Thanksgiving with my husband's family is from South Carolina. His dad's family. His mom's family is from here, but they're actually all pretty much gone now. All her siblings and, well, she still has some cousins and things like that. But anyway, that are all really close. But they are, nope, I want it. Sorry, did I bump you? I want it this way. So, let me find the scoreboard, or get the scoreboard. I didn't have to look for it. I knew where it was this time. So I'm going to fold this in. This is where we're not going to match, but we're going to be okay with it. Right there, boom. I went to go, I said, ooh, I'll make filling cakes. That's what we call them. We call them filling cakes because they're very filling, I guess. And I don't know, Mom always made them, my grandmother made them, my aunt makes them. You know, we grew up making them, so we just have them, right? Well, I was gonna take a dish up to South Carolina, and the aunt that we stay with up there is kind of like, I mean, she's she can throw together a dinner party for 65 people without breaking a sweat. You know what I'm saying? And very elaborate, very, you know, proper Southern, whatever. And so, anyway, finally, my mom told me that, because they were like, they didn't know what that was. And I said, you're going to get me kicked out of the state of South Carolina, Mom. Why didn't you tell me that was a northern thing? You have... Oh, mercy. Yeah, so, anyway, but that's what we cook. That's what we like. So, we do it. And, I don't know if I need all of these. Maybe I should check before I cut into this one, at least. That would match that one. That would match that one. So that I can cut this one down. No biggie. And then I'll cut the other one down. I'm thinking I'm almost done with kneading the scrapbook paper. So, that was why I was hesitating. And I'm going to use this other little piece right here. And then, what did it look like on that side? Yes, that will work. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. And then if I need, I'm going to go count them and place them in some sort of order. If I need these over here, because it's about time to go, I have the nutcracker in the package. I mean, I could save that for next year if I need to. They don't have to go in this journal. I don't have to put any of the red and green in it if it's going to be that stressful to get it to line up right. I have plenty of book pages, and I have some dyed pages. So, I can use... Okay, I was like, did I do that right? Because these are definitely upside down right now. Okay. Here we go. Alrighty. Well, with that, we are going to say adios, amigos. And I may just leave that whole video and then come back and with a part 2. And once I have them all together, and because I think I have enough pages. If not, I have this one I can use, and I have these two. If I need another traditional, I mean, that would go, and that would go. But, anyway, so I have the option of 1 or 2 more pages out of that set, and then I will go count these, try to get them in order, and then I will come back with part 2, and we'll put it all together, and we'll sew it together. And I'm wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. I hope you have a safe holiday if you're traveling, or whatever you're doing, and I hope that you get to be creative at some point this weekend. So you take care, and love to all of you and your families. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye, y'all.